Yo, Shalom, Shalom. This is the brother Shamak with the Great Millstone Cleveland branch. And I want to start off by, of course, giving all honor, praise, and glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Rakakwadash, Mashanakabah, Allah Hazukoyim, Sha'agudar which is giving double honors. And Shalom to the elect. This the title of this lesson. Basically, going to be going into, another lesson going into the wicked. And how we need deliverance from the wicked. Let's get right into it. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 17, and verse 13. It says, "Arise, O Lord Yahweh, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword." Right, so, our forefather David, this is a prayer to the Lord, that the Lord deliver him, basically. But we in times of war in these days, and we asking for deliverance in the same way that our forefather David did. He said, deliver me from let's read that one more time. It says, "Arise, O Lord Yahweh, disappoint him." Right, and the Lord is going to disappoint his devices. Well, he's going to disappoint his enterprise, which we're going to get that after this. It says, cast him down, right, and the Lord is going to throw him down. Right now, he's in a state of riches, but pretty soon he's going to be in the lowest state. This is the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 5. Yeah, also because he, let me see. Let me go to verse 6. It says, actually, I do want to start up, because he gained riches. It says, yeah, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as deaf and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto himself all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. Right, so how is he allowed to heap unto himself all these different type of people from all these different type of nations? Because America is one of the greatest countries that's on the earth. And this is a country that's prophesied that the Lord is going to destroy, just like he destroyed the land of Egypt and deliver his people. All right. So the Lord, this devil, he got great riches. He got a lot of people coming together into his country of all different nations. He got a lot of slaves to this day. Now let's read verse 6, because like we just read in the book of Psalms, all those riches are gonna come to naught. It says, shall not all these take up a parable against him? All right. And a taunting proverb against them, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not that which is not his. Right, he's going to become a joke. People are going to start looking at this man like he's a straight up joke. Ain't nobody going to be looking at him like, oh, he's this great devil, and he's the most wonderful man that's on the face of the earth. It says, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his. Right. How long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay. Right, he laid himself with thick clay because he's tied up in his own debt. That's what it's going into when it goes into that word clay. It's going into his debt. Right. So the Lord ain't dealing with this devil. The Lord is gonna eventually, cut him off. Right. It says, that he woe to him that increaseth that which is not his. Right, let's go to because we need deliverance from this devil. We can't just do this out of our own power. The Lord has gave him this power, so we got to go all based off of what the scriptures is telling us about this devil. It's the book of Job, chapter 20 and verse 15. He hath swallowed down riches. Right, that's why you see him You know, he's basically got the greatest enterprise on the earth. You know what I'm saying? Gold and silver stored up in the storehouses. You know what I'm saying? He owns the farming market. He owns the entertainment industry. It says he has swallowed down riches, and he shall vomit them up again. Yahweh Bahashim al-Shah shall cast them out of his belly. Right, so the Lord is gonna deliver a horrifying blow to his stomach. So he's gonna spit up all them riches. The Lord's he's gonna do damage, man, and he's gonna cause him to, get rid of, the great abundance that he's allowed to receive through the captivity of the Israelites. Right? So this is he ain't gonna really get no portion of the land of milk and honey. The fullness of enjoying the kingdom. The only thing that he's gonna enjoy, and he's barely even gonna be able to enjoy it, is the high holy days and the Shabbat. It's literally the only thing that he gonna have a increment of joy in, because he's gonna have to be punished for all of the atrocities that he's done on the earth. He's fucked with literally every nation, and he's fucked with literally every tribe of the nation of Israel, and he's allowed other heathen nations to, get a lending hand inside of the basically a lending hand inside of the destruction of the Israelites, right? So but once again, like we read in the book of Psalms, he said, deliver me from the wicked, which is thy sword. He said, he said, Lord, the wicked is your sword. Esau is your sword. Right? This is the book of Job, chapter 19, and verse 29 to back that up. It says, "Be ye afraid of the sword." All right, so the scripture telling us to have a sense of fear about the sword, about this devil. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get a precept to back that up, because we ain't just, you know what I'm saying? The scripture say, we ain't really supposed to fear nobody but the Lord. You know what I'm saying? But we supposed to obey the laws of the land, in a sense. You know what I'm saying? We ain't supposed to be out here just doing any old thing. You know what I'm saying? In this man's society, and this devil ain't gonna be able to do any old thing. We ain't gonna be allowing this devil to do certain shit inside of our kingdom. He's gonna be getting punished. We gonna have laws and legislations, but on the right hand side, he's doing, the scripture say, unrighteous decrees. It says, Job chapter 19 and verse 29, "But be ye afraid of the sword, for wrath bringeth the punishments of the sword." This is why the Lord has allowed this devil to do what he's doing on the earth, because the Lord's wrath. You gotta remember, them missiles ain't his. Them missiles don't belong to Moab. Them missiles don't belong to Ammon. Them missiles don't belong to, Elam and whoever in this world got access to ICBMs. Those are the Lord's weapons, according to the scriptures. So he ain't gonna bear the sword in vain. because the Lord has given him the power of the sword to be able to do punishment. And this is why you see our people dying in the street, being disobedient, because they being disobedient to the Lord. It's not just because, oh, Esau just shot a little black boy. That's not, you know, why. That doesn't explain judgment. That's not the fullness of judgment. The fullness of judgment is that the Lord is working. The Lord is ruling in the kingdom of men. So he's making decisions. He's sending death angels. The scriptures say that the Lord killeth and maketh alive. You got to believe in the scriptures, man. The scriptures say these things. Be ye afraid of the sword. Right. Why wouldn't you be afraid of a nuclear missile? That's the Lord's arrows according to the scriptures. But we ain't afraid of carnal things. You know what I'm saying? The scriptures say, fear not them that can kill a body. You know? Let me see. Let me read this from the top and finish this. Break this down all the way. It says, be ye afraid of the sword, for wrath bringeth the punishments of the sword, that ye may know there is a judgment. So the Lord's wrath bring in them punishments, and he can use whoever he wants to. He can use Esau, he can use Moab, he can use anybody. He can use a nigga to do judgment. Just put the death demon on somebody. Now you got straight up judgment happening. You know? And ain't nobody innocent. You know? So what was I about to do? That was something I was thinking. All right, so wrath bringing the punishment sword. Right, so let's further back that up. That the Lord is in control of this. This is the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 2, and verse 6. This is the Lord Yahweh killeth and maketh alive. He bringeth down to the grave and bringeth up. Alright, so the Lord can bring you down to the grave, meaning he can kill you. He can put you to death. Shit, he can put me to death. It says, and the Lord maketh alive. You know, the Lord put the spirit on somebody to have birth. You know what I'm saying? The Lord will put the spirit on somebody to mate so that they can have birth. And the scriptures say, before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee. That's what he told Jeremiah. Before you were formed in your mother's womb. Before Jeremiah told Jeremiah, before he was even in his mother's womb, man. Before she even conceived, he knew who Jeremiah was. He knew who Jeremiah's spirit was. So this shows you that the Lord is in control, man. You know? So we need the Lord to deliver us from the sword. We can't just... And that's what... Now I remember what I was about to go to. This is the book of Thuwadi Abashon. This is the book of Romans. This is the book of Romans. Let's see. It's the book of Romans, chapter 13 and verse 1. It says, let every soul be subject unto the higher powers, for there is no power but of Yahweh. The powers that be are ordained of Yahweh. Right? So Lord said, be subject to the higher powers, man. You know, when you read it in the NLT, it says everyone must submit to governing authorities. There you go. Everybody gotta submit to you know, authority, to the authority that's in control. For all authority comes from Yahweh, and those in positions of authority have been placed there by Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua. So who's ever in power, right? They've been placed in a power seat by the Lord. So it's not really they governing policies that you disobeying, is more so Yahweh Basmi Shah, because he the one that set them up in power. Now it's an extent that you can't go when it comes to serving, and submitting to their policies. Because remember, now the scriptures say don't be over righteous and over wicked. I'm gonna use that because I don't want to cause no confusion. You gotta remember, you can't serve Yahweh and Mammon. That's another one. It's gonna come a point in time where, because you gotta remember, this is what you gotta remember. He also does unrighteous decrees. He, just like during the time of Nebuchadnezzar, he basically made a law that everybody was enforced to, everybody was basically enforced to basically worship him. And Esau's about to do that in this day, using MC hip. He's gonna cause everybody, no matter who you is, young, old, free or bond, you're gonna have to get a C-hip and worship the image of the beast, man. Just to live a regular life in his society, what he would call a regular life in his society. But we ain't going to that extent to serve this devil, because it's gonna be a branch off. It's gonna come a point in time where we're gonna have to branch off, and who we gonna fear? This devil. Who we gonna fear? We have to choose. We're gonna close out with that. We're gonna close out with that because this weather getting a little bit out of hand. This book of Revelation 3 and verse 10. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. So the hour of temptation is going to try the whole earth to see if they're going to serve the Lord, or if they're going to serve the image of the beast in the way of the NWO, which is coming, soon, man. Gradually. But Lord's willingness to edify through Wadi Yahweh Basmi Shah for giving me a spirit to do this lesson. Till next time, say Shalom, Carmel Sharala. Lord's willing, Shalom to the elect. Shalom.